Hi guys, it's Dre here. Today I have my Bought It, Forgot It for you. This is something I do about every 6 weeks or so on my channel. I will take long forgotten or unused products from my collection and I put them in this little box here on my vanity so that I'm reminded to use them. It's always in front of me every day so I don't forget. And that way at the end of the 6 weeks I can bring you a full review on each of these products and let you know, was it good, was it not good. I have found quite a few holy grail products by doing this, so it's something I really like to do, and it's something that all of you can do. Like, anybody can do this. You don't need to pull 10 things, you can pull like 3 things if you have a smaller collection. And it's just a really good way to see if you really like something, and it's a good way to actually use the stuff that you own. So let me show you what I've been using for the last 6 weeks. Starting with this is the Guerlain BB Beauty Booster BB Cream, SPF 30. Mine is in the shade BB2 Light. I don't like this product at all. And it's not the fault of the product, it's really just it doesn't work with my oily skin. It actually is a really nice medium coverage BB cream. It has a really nice finish. It has kind of a natural demi-matte finish. It's got a pump on it. This shade is probably a little too dark for me. I probably do better with one shade down this time of year. In the summertime this would be okay, but the problem is in the summertime I'm super oily, and so therefore this really won't work for me. Even during this kind of cooler time of year, it breaks up on my face after about 6-ish hours. I can really see like separation, etc. I'm trying another BB cream today that has kind of oxidized on my face, which is why I look a little bit like bronzy. This is not my normal skin color right now, but I had to film this video, so here's where we are. Next thing is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer, but this is the Blemish Control Salicylic Acid one. This one, I mean, I thought it was a green primer, but it's really not. It's just kind of like a gel feeling, you know, clear primer. It actually has a really nice consistency. It doesn't feel silicone-y at all. It doesn't really have a scent. It feels more like kind of like a gel. The thing is, I didn't find that this really extended the life of my makeup at all. It just, I don't know, it really actually didn't do anything on me now that I'm thinking about it. I used it a couple times. I don't know if the salicylic acid component of it actually works because I don't really have a lot of acne, so I'm sorry I can't really report on that. But in terms of like longevity, I wouldn't say it's the best primer for that. The next thing is this Star Looks, I think it's called, what is it, Gem Pencil. This is a really beautiful color. Oh, I just did it over that primer, but I think you can still see the color. It's like this sparkly green. It's actually really beautiful. I didn't use this at all in my upper lash line because I don't really do that, but I did try it on my waterline and it lasted okay. I mean, my waterline is notoriously bad for putting any kind of liner in it. It just kind of goes away very quickly. But it looked pretty and it stayed really creamy. I actually lost the cap for this at the very beginning of the 6 weeks actually, and it stayed creamy the whole time. I didn't want to sacrifice a lid from another liner to put on here because I didn't know if I was going to keep this or not, but you know, it hasn't had a cap on it for 6 weeks and it's still decently creamy, so that is saying something. The next thing I didn't use at all, this is the Rimmel Scandalize eyeshadow stick in the shade Blamed Blue. You guys, this shade is so gorgeous. It's so beautiful and it's so super like creamy, like that just glides on. There's nothing wrong with this product, it's just I have come to the conclusion I don't use blue eyeshadow. I don't like blue eyeshadow. It doesn't look good on me. I will never use it. Every time I looked at this, I just felt way too intimidated to use it. Like, come on, I have green eyes with olive skin tone. It just doesn't look right on me. I think blue looks so gorgeous on blondes and like redheads, but on me, no, it doesn't. And I'm just gonna have to declutter that, pass it on to somebody who will love it because it is absolutely gorgeous, but just not for me. Next thing is this from NYC. This is the Smooth Skin Pressed Face Powder. Mine is in the shade Warm Beige. It has a shade name, but there's not really a ton of color or coverage to it. You could just use it kind of as a regular face powder. You might get the tiniest bit of color, but not much. I really like this a lot. It has a really nice smoothness to it, but not overly, like it doesn't feel like silicone-y. It just has a nice soft smoothness to it, and it definitely kept me as matte as like most of my other face powders, not more so or less so, and I really liked it. Now the thing is, I've heard that NYC is like completely pulling out of most cities in the United States and they're really just staying in New York, and I know even here in Canada, like I can still find them in my Walmart, but they're not in my Shoppers Drug Mart anymore. So I don't think I'm going to continue to review NYC products because it's just become one of those brands that's way too hard to find, but I did really like that. The next thing is from Wet n Wild. It's the Photo Focus Setting Spray. I like this. I don't think it's as good as some other things. So obviously Wet n Wild is on the very, very affordable end of things. So if you are on a budget, this would be a good one to get. It will give you a little bit of lasting power to your makeup, but I don't think it's as good, nearly as good as even like the L'Oreal Infallible, what is it called? Pro Spray and Set or something. Whatever the L'Oreal version is, the Infallible version, so much better than this. And I think it's, you know, it is more expensive, but not by much. So if you can spend the extra few dollars, I would just go with that instead of this one. But I will use up the rest of this bottle. It's probably like down to there. The next thing is from Makeup Revolution. This is the blush palette. It's called the Ultra Blush Palette in Hot Spice. So you have here 6 shades and then 2 kind of highlighty, blush toppery, shimmery shades. These you would think are all matte, but they're not. Only the 2 in the middle are matte. It comes with a little sheet that tells you what everything is. So you have shimmers and then mattes and then like very glowy stuff on the end. I love this product. I even bought the other version of this, which I think is called Sugar and Spice and is much more pink, and this one is much more peach. The only bad thing I really have to say about this is that it doesn't last like through the entire day. You will see your blush fading halfway through the day. If you're in a spot where you can touch up, it's no biggie, but if you really need your makeup to last like through the whole day without touch-ups, not the best product, but I do really like it. The shades are all beautiful, blendable, really, really pretty, and I really like this product. The next thing I am not a fan of at all. This is the NYX Avant Pop Eyeshadow Palette. Now, the reasons I'm not a fan of this may not be reasons that you care or like really affect you. So it's not that it's a bad product. I want to say that off the bat. It's definitely not the most amazing quality in the world, but it's not terrible. The reason I don't like it is because it's not cohesive in the slightest. You really have to look at this like it's individual eyeshadows, and you have to bring in other shadows, maybe a matte palette to work with it, because this just doesn't work by itself. You would think like this shade here would be a good crease shade or blending out shade, but it's really not. Like there's no pigment to it at all, and it just blends away, and it's kind of chalky. It's not a very nice texture. This shade here for a brow bone is way too shimmery and very choppy and chalky. I don't like it at all. I like the pigmentation in some of them. The purple isn't super pigmented off the bat, but you could definitely build it up. The orange is really nice. I like the greens, but I didn't really use them that often just because everything is so bright. The color I use the absolute most is definitely this purple. If you watched my last video, or I'm not sure when it was, but it was my most recent rehaul where I did a purple eye look. I actually filmed this, bought it, forgot it on that day as well, and the footage came out terrible, but that was the look I was wearing. Like I used this in the crease, I used the black in the outer V, and then I used something else on the lid, but I loved the way it turned out. This purple is a really beautiful color, but I just don't like this. I'm not gonna get rid of it because I will use it here and there, but it's just not my favorite. I don't think it's the best quality in the world, but if you want a nice multitude of color options and you're on a budget, that would be a good palette to get. The next thing is my Makeup Geek shadows. I've had this in here for actually 2 rotations of this because I don't find myself reaching for it very often. That is mostly my fault, and I'll tell you why. It's really the colors I chose. So these 2 rows here are all their duochromes, and then these 2 rows are like random mattes and shimmers that I chose. So when you look at this side, it's just, I didn't give myself enough variety. It's all warm, golden browns. Like there's not very many eye looks you can get out of it. I did use, you know, like those famous colors like Beaches and Cream and Peach Smoothie, you know, like these kind of shades to pair with other eyeshadows that I was using, crease colors and that. And they are like, they're excellent quality. There's nothing bad I could say about that, but I didn't really find myself making whole looks from this palette. The duochromes, I don't like most of the lighter shades. I don't feel like they show up very well. I'm not gonna go into every shade name, but basically the lightest shades, like these 2 here, for example, really don't show up. The 2 that I really love are the 2 purples. So the 2 purples are, the darker is Blacklight, the lighter is Phantom there are the swatches for you. Like, they are really beautiful. So again, in that rehaul video that I did, I had mixed these two all over the lid and it was absolutely gorgeous. It's one of my most favorite eye looks that I've done in months. And also a few weeks ago, I was wearing this all over my lid in a video, this black light shade, and so many of you asked me what I was wearing. And so it's obviously a beautiful color. I would definitely say those shades are awesome, but the duochrome ones, like, I'm just not the biggest fan of all of them. I don't see myself wanting to go run out and buy a bunch more Makeup Geek shadows anytime soon. Although if there's anything that you guys think is absolutely awesome, let me know. And if you think I absolutely need it, maybe I'll look into that. But I don't know, I just don't really peruse Makeup Geek's website very often. So the last things were all of the mascara products that I was using. The first thing is from Urban Decay. It's the Subversion Lash Primer. This is interesting because the brush is very short and stubby and it pulls out a lot of product on it. Like, you would look at that and think, oh, my lashes are gonna get crazy clumpy. But they really don't. It does give you a small amount of length, quite a nice bit of volume. So if you want to pair it maybe with a mascara you love that gives you length but no volume, that might be a good idea. It doesn't give you the most length in the world, but I liked it overall. These other two mascaras, I really like both of them. So this one here is the Avon Big and False Lash Mascara. This one has a big old honkin' brush, like huge. There's something about huge mascara brushes that I'm just drawn to because I love volume and I feel like they really tend to give that to you. And this one is really good. Like, this one gives you volume and surprisingly a lot of length too. Maybe I shouldn't say surprisingly because it does say it's like a false lash effect on it, but I really like that. And the other one was a sample of the Lash Power Flutter to Full Mascara from Clinique. The only thing I would really say about this is I don't really know how it works because this is a sample, right? So you have on one side this brush and you have on the other side a brush that looks almost identical to it, maybe just slightly shorter. It's hard to even see a difference. And both sides worked really well. Like, they both gave me lots of length, separation, a little bit of volume, but I liked both of them. Sometimes I would use them by themselves. Sometimes I would put both sides on my eyelashes. The actual tube that you get, like if you buy it, I don't think it looks like this. I think it's a different thing, and I feel kind of dumb reviewing it for you because I don't really know how it works. All I can really say is that the formula is really good, and every which way I used it, I really liked the way my lashes looked. So there you have it. I would love to see what the actual tube looks like. Maybe I will go check it out at a Clinique counter or something, but for now I'm not really entirely sure. So now I'm going to show you what I'm going to be using for the next 6 weeks. This is always the funnest part of this video, in my opinion. So first of all, I have here the Milani Conceal and Perfect Foundation. So I have two shades, shade 02 and shade 03. I did try 03. This is the first one I bought. I tried it when I first bought it and I didn't like it, but the shade is completely too dark. This foundation, as far as I can understand, kind of starts in the middle of the spectrum. It doesn't really have a lot of lighter shades. I'm not really sure about the deeper shade ranges, but it doesn't have a lot. I know that they have added, I think, like a 00. But anyway, I did pick up number 2. I think this might even be a little bit dark for me. It does have a pump. I don't know, we're starting to get into like May, June, so maybe I'll start seeing my skin darken up anyway. But I also have this. This is the Body Shop Lightning Drops that I just picked up recently. So I figured I would pair them together and then maybe I could see how I can get it to work for me. I recently did a video which was a face full of forgotten products, and it was kind of similar to this, only you saw me put stuff on my face, and I really had fun doing that. One of the products I used in that video was this. This is the Laura Mercier Loose Setting Powder in Translucent. I liked it when I used it that one time, but I only did use it that one time, so I really want to give it more of a shot. The next thing is from Physicians Formula. This is the Bronze Booster. It has a longer name than that. Highlight and Contour Palette Shimmer Strobing. So this comes in 2 different versions. One is a matte version, which is more for contouring, and then this one is more like bronzing and highlighting. And I've used it a few times, but not too many. This is super soft. Like, do you hear how loud that is? That's the sound it makes when you push it open. It's not breaking, but it sounds like it is. It scares me every time. So anyway, these are so soft, like so much product comes off when you barely even touch it, but they are very pigmented. They're a little bit chalky, and I think that's why I kind of put it away. But I haven't really given them a fair shot. See that glow? Like, okay, so I'm just gonna try it out. I might try this one as an eyeshadow and we'll see how it goes. I actually have one other product from Physicians Formula. This is the Shimmer Strips Extreme Shimmer Custom Eye Enhancing Shadow and Liner Bronze Nude. Really, Physicians Formula, like so many words. Anyway, I used this one time last year when I did a first impressions video, and I used this in it, and I remember liking it, but I haven't really, I don't think I used it much after that. Maybe once or twice. Like maybe I've used it 3 times, but they're all shimmery shades. There is that nice turquoise blue. For some reason, this shade of blue kind of works on me, so I remember liking it when I wore it. I don't know, we'll just give it a shot. The next thing is a brush. This is a brush that I have not used in a very long time. I was reminded of it because I talked about it in a recent rehaul. So this is from Tarte. This is the holiday version of this brush, but they do sell it regularly. I think it has a wooden handle. I believe it's called the Airbrush brush. Everything will be listed below if I don't know the exact names. But it is a foundation brush and it's very large, and I just haven't given it a shot in a long time. The next thing is a definite YouTube made me buy it, specifically Tati. She talked about this in a video a long time ago, and I ran out and bought it, mostly because of the packaging. I think it's so cute. This is the Almay Smart Shade Blush in the shade Coral. It's got these 4 different kind of shades in here, and then you can swirl them all together, and it's got these gorgeous stars. Like, that is really the reason I bought this. Totally sold on the packaging. I just don't know if this is a shade that looks good on me. Like, I recently did my blush declutter, and something I kind of repeated a lot in that video was that peachy pinks look good on me, but peachy browns and peaches really don't. I have here a liner and a brush. This brush is from Sigma. It's the Winged Liner E06. It's a super, super tiny little slanted winged eyeliner brush, and I just never use this because really I don't like to use this method of eyeliner. This is from Tony Moly. I don't know the exact name because it's not printed in English, but I'll find out for you guys. But it is a gel liner. I just love my liquid eyeliner. I love my brush tip liner. It's my comfort zone, and I just need to practice. I need to force myself to practice to use this stuff. It's not like I never have in the past, but it's just, like I said, not my comfort zone. This, I think you could tell by looking in here, there's one little mark. That mark is really just from me testing right now to see if it's creamy enough to use. Other than that, this is brand new. Last 2 things are mascaras. So this month I'm going to be trying the Roller Lash. I did use this in the Face Full of Forgotten Products video, and I really liked it, and I just want to keep using it now that it's open. It's got that kind of curved brush, plastic. I really liked it when I used it, so we'll see about that. And the last mascara is from NARS. It's the Audacious Mascara. When I actually tried to use this a few months ago in a Bought It Forgot It, not this one, I had another one. And when I pulled the brush out, like it completely, the brush head broke off into the product. So we're just gonna pull it out and make sure that that doesn't happen this time. Okay, so we have a working brush. That is what it looks like. It looks super duper spiky and kind of scary. Okay, you guys, so that is it for my Bought It Forgot It. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. That always helps me out so much. I hope you found this very valuable and some good information. I always kind of hope that that's what I'm delivering to you is good information and not just a bunch of yes queen kind of content. So not that there's anything wrong with that, different strokes for different folks. But that is it for my video for today. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.